All right, here's a secret many of you already know, but I'm gonna paint it in a different perspective. All right, so if you are having difficulty manifesting, creating what you want, if you find it hard to build your beliefs, to really manifest what you want, hey, why don't I just let someone else manifest for me? Right? Is it possible? Oh yes it is. And I'm going to teach you something very powerful that will change the game for those who are having difficulty manifesting. They're just having a hard time. Their beliefs are not there. Their confidence is not there. There's nothing wrong with that. You're on a journey, you're building, but you can actually take a bypass method to manifest what you want, and here it is. All right. Even when you have nothing, you must act like you have everything. I'll repeat that again. If you got $5 in your bank account, you got to walk around like you got $500,000 in your bank account. If you're low confidence and you're walking in the building with the people, you got to put your head up high and walk around like you're the man or the woman. I am telling you, here's what most teachers or whatever, the gurus, the masters, they don't tell you, or I don't know, but they don't focus on it because it seems so illogical and it doesn't just, but listen to science and how this works. The world is not reality. The world is perception. People perceive you some way. If you walk around and act like you have everything, even if you know you don't have anything, in the outer world, the people you walk by, they will pick up the presence, the energy. They will subconsciously create a self-fulfilling prophecy for you. Remember what I just told you. There is no reality, only perception. If someone perceives you as wealthy to their eyes by how you're walking or you're acting, they are impressing and putting onto you the energy of that. Imagine 5 people doing that, 10 people doing that, 100 people doing that, and you don't have to do anything. You're acting. Let me show you how physics work and energy now. Okay. First rule is every person have a different view of who you are. Nobody sees you the same. You may see yourself a certain way, one person see you another way, 2 persons, so you can never fully pinpoint your identity. You are a mystery, even to your own self. Right? So when someone is looking at you and you're walking around and you have all that, their perception is, man, that guy looks very wealthy. She looks like she has it all. You may be struggling, you don't have it all, but it's fine. Their energy from the collective subconscious now get into your subconscious and help your subconscious to believe the perception that they put on you. And their perception, their expectation of you will become your physical reality. You will get opportunities, people will come around, give you jobs, they start following you on social media, whatever you're doing. The point is, when we put out what we want as if we already have it, even if we don't, we put it out to the masses, it is going to create a windfall effect back to you. That's how you use people to manifest for you. It works 100%, and let me go into the science again. All right, I said before, I opened up, I said, there is no reality, only perception. So what is a perception? A perception is a subjective view of the world based on each person. If you can show each person a subjective view of what you are, that person will reflect that subjective view back onto you. Hence, one day you will create what's called a self-fulfilling prophecy, and they'll walk around and you'll always say, man, I used to always walk around and pretend and act as if I have everything, and the people will say, oh man, I thought you already had everything. To me, you look like you were walking around like you already had it. They just helped you manifest it. You see how that works? So, you have to learn to input this in your life. And it is because the subconscious mind, again, people, it is not a logical machine. It's a very illogical. Especially if you get other people participating in your universe. You know, I used to walk around when I was manifesting my car. I don't know if I told you this story. The M3, right? That car, yellow M3, when I won the lottery. Before I even won the lottery. You know what I used to do? I used to walk around when I was working in the hotel. And we had an indoor garage in there. And I used to walk around every day as if I already had a car. Like I won the car already. And people would ask me, say, hey Mark, where's the car? And I would always be telling them a story. I was like, it's in the shop getting a paint job. I spent a couple months, I'm just doing a rehaul on the engine. I bought I had no idea what I was doing. It just felt natural to do it. And lo and behold, a few months later, I won the lottery. I had that car in the parking lot in real time. Ooh. Think about that. You think that's a coincidence? Think that's luck? No, my friends. It's called deliberate creation. It's called using the universal forces. Because what is happening, what is about to happen, is or already is, has, was, been happening already. All I am doing, I am streaming up to the timeline where it already exists. That's what I'm doing in physics. I'm using quantum causality. I am moving into a dimension from non-linear time into the place and a coordinate where that already exists. And I'm using people to help me to get there, their expectation of me. As a matter of fact, the people had me believing it was true. I was like, wait a minute, do I really have the car in there? Oh, okay, maybe I do. But it happened. And that's the real secret to life. So if you want to get where you want to go, you have to already be there already on an energetic level. Get that? Remember, it's a perception world. Okay, more detailed dive in a perception world, Mark. A subjective person. Okay, a perception world basically means if I portray an idea to someone and I do it repeatedly like I do to my subconscious mind, right? My subconscious mind now takes that idea and create an image, takes the image and then eventually creates an experience and then create a world around me and I get to experience it. That's what reality really is. It's what you put out. Reality isn't the truth, okay? It's your truth. It's the truth you put out to someone else. There's no real truth. It's about what you can put. People don't look for the truth. People look for what's presented as a truth to them. There's not one universal truth, my friends. It's a perception world. What we perceive, we achieve. Good or bad. So, now you know this, everybody should be doing this. And if you think about it deep down, physics now says that anything that's possible is playing out somewhere in the field right at this moment. So anything that's possible, how can something become possible? By thought, by imagination. If I imagine something, it's possible. Now it moves from possibility to an actuality in a part of the field, in a different dimension, same field. In the same field, there is no linearity in quantum mechanics. So time doesn't operate the same on a quantum level. If you think that time is linear, you are sadly mistaken, my friends. If you're getting up every day and you see Monday through Friday and 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., that is a human construct, an idea. The past, the present, the future are all playing out all at once. According to quantum physics, there is nothing. The past can influence the future can influence the past, vice versa. The only thing is to make it make sense to you is to look at it like a block. There's this block, and inside the block is everything that's going on. One's over here, one's over there. You're alive here, you're dead here, you're in the middle age here, you're a kid there. They're just at coordinates. You can jump from that to that to that. There's no law in quantum mechanics that says you have to go forwards to backwards. None of it. So it means every situation is playing out in the moment. Well, what is preventing you from seeing these situations? Your brain. Your brain just isn't powerful enough. It wasn't orchestrated to see the full field. It was a need to know basis. Our brain was designed for a need to know. Your brain is focused on 3 dimensions. Here, now, what's going on around you. Your brain cannot focus on infinite possibilities, infinite things that are playing out. It's just not built to do that. Yet, it is still happening all around you. So when you're in a current situation where you may be in a state of lack or you feel you don't have it, all you have to do is portray that image or that feeling that you already have it. It's called pretend. It's called act as if. It's called fake it till you make it. If you start to do all of those things, you will actually start to brainwash yourself, more importantly, your unconscious mind and the people around you, and they will make you create what's called a self-fulfilling prophecy all the time. People kind of shun away from this concept because it seems stupid. It seems illogical. Key word. That's the secret. If anything is illogical, it's the right way to go when you're manifesting something. I always told you guys, for you to be a great manifestor and to bring things into reality, you have to be a great delusionist. You have to be delusion. Delusionary have to be a part of your makeup. And I'm not talking about crazy delusion. I'm talking about a healthy delusion. A healthy delusion is a delusion where you can see yourself the way you want to see it, where it doesn't make sense to your mind. That's what I call delusion. And that's correct. The truth is stranger than fiction. When you start to imprint, this is called impressing. This will impress the most powerful reality generator you have in your consciousness, which is your unconscious mind. It takes everything. It doesn't reject nothing. If you can see it, if you can dream it, if you can repeat it, your unconscious accepts it. Once it accepts something, here's what people don't understand about the unconscious mind. You see, people, when the subconscious accepts something, you know what the next step is? You know what it does? Anybody know? Anybody know? We talk about, hey, my subconscious accepts it. What's the next step? Well, go ahead, tell me. When the subconscious accepts something, what happens? Someone says you get it. Get what though? What do you get? What does getting it mean? All right, let me show you something. Here's the process. When the unconscious mind accepts something, 2 things happen. Number 1, inside of your brain, you're unaware of this, but your brain starts rewiring itself so that it becomes fixed. That becomes a habit. So if someone uses subliminals every night while they're sleeping for money or wealth or lottery or whatever, and they use it every night when they're going to bed, the subconscious is going to accept it. And when the subconscious accepts it, their brain now, what they call neuroplasticity, is wired to a reality where they're going to experience it. So now they get to experience it. That's good. But here's the most important part about it. Now it's going to become very difficult for them to become unwealthy. Once their brain is fused into wealth, it's almost impossible for them to go back to being poor. Even if their own mind trips them up and they make a bad investment, they're going to recoup the money a lot faster and they're going to go right back to the top. See, that's what people don't understand about the unconscious mind. Once you get it to what you want it, it's going to be hard to unwind it. So you're always going to be winning. Yes, powerful. But you know what? We've been doing it in our own lives the wrong way. Think about this. We have been programmed so much for like lack and anxiousness, right? that once we become lack, we just keep getting into lack. When we get a little bit of abundance, what happens? We get sucked back into lack. That's the example of the brain tuned to the habit. So if you program your unconscious to the habit of success and wealth, you cannot fail. You can go self-sabotage yourself, go make a bad investment, do something else. Your subconscious is going to come back and make you become wealthy again, because it's now controlling your habits. I like to use the example, and I said this before. Here's a perfect example of how this works. Remember when they had the recession, or the economy had a recession or whatever. Let's say you had a recession or something. People lost you lost a lot of money in real estate, whatever it is, right? You and 10 people, 10 associates, all of them lost money. Everybody's down. And guess what happens? You'll be the one out of those 10 people that will recover your wealth faster than ever. Some of those people will never recover it. They'll never recover it. But because you already have the blueprint program, your subconscious knows how exactly to get you back on top. So you will always keep winning. That's the power. And it begins as simply as just pretending, acting. When you have nothing, act like you have everything. Let the people around you see what you want them to see from an energetic standpoint, so that they can reflect it back to you as a self-fulfilling prophecy for you, because your awareness and aura will give them a perception of you. What is the perception you want people to have of you? What is the perception you want the physical world to have of you? So that's why you got to get up every day, man, and walk around like it's there. Even when your own mind is telling you, stop doing it. You have to ignore it. In other words, you cannot get what you want if you don't already have what you want. Go ahead, write that down. So many don't get it. I'll repeat it again. You cannot get what you want if you don't already have what you want. Figure that one out. What does Mark mean by that? Go read it a couple times and you'll click in your head. You want me to say it again? You cannot get what you want if you don't already have what you want. If you're smart, which you are, you can put in the comment to know what that means. If not, I'm going to let it sit there and marinate, and then till you get it. I'm not going to tell you the answer now. You are going to get it for yourself. Okay? Got it? Can't get what you want if you don't already have what you want. When I give you a clue. I give you a clue so you can get the answer. What you want is not physical. What you want is something you have to put out in a feeling. There you go. So now you should have the answer to that one. You got that? So now you have what you want. So if you have what you want, next thing is going to show up as physical, but it's already too late because you already had it. All you just getting is the feedback. Every experience you and I get, when I won the lottery, bought the car, that was a feedback. It was a delay. It was already late. I already had it already. I had it because I had the embodiment of it. I felt it. I was walking around acting like I did it. When it came, it was already late. I was like, oh man, you finally showed up. But I already had you. That's how reality works, my friends. So if you ever want anything to come in your life, you have to already be adjusted to that state of being, of having it already. It has to, when it comes into your life, it's like, okay. Better late than never. I mean, I'm good. I already had you. Because you know it's going to show up. That's the law of physics. The universe works this way. For something to become physical reality, it have to be a non-physical experience first. Anything you see that's physical in your life, it originated from a non-physical state. It came from a feeling, a belief, repetition, subconscious programming. You're all unaware of that. But if you're seeing it in your physical world, It's something that you help contribute to, someone contributed to you, but you had a part in it. We all have a part in our reality. Some of it we can't control, but we do have a lot of control in it. So what I do and what you should do now is, now you know this secret, or whatever you want to call it, you definitely have to spend more time in awareness, man. You have to be aware about what's going on in your feelings and what you're seeing and what you're watching, because now you know it's what you put your energy and attention on that is going to make a physical world. There is the physical world you see is the last step. 99% of creation is already completed before you see any physical evidence in reality. Think about it. 99% of the creative process is done. When it pops into your reality, you see 1%. And right on cue, Jacqueline made my point. Jacqueline says, it's true. Been doing it for months. Finally, I got $359,000. Correct. It always goes that way. So if you, listen guys, what is the bigger picture of this though? The bigger picture is as follows. It says, damn, I am the source of my own abundance. All of this stuff is coming from inside me, because without me thinking and conjuring this stuff up and feeling it, it can't come into physical reality. So I am the generator. I am the cause. So that should wake you up to say, oh my goodness, I'm so damn powerful. Now I know why I'm miscreating. I got to get back on track and start to recreate what I want, because man, it's coming from me. All these feelings I have every day, they are conjuring up my physical reality, but I'm not aware of it. So all I have to do is just tune my awareness now and change my frequency to more of what I would like to see come in. And then that was going to show up. You know, when you cannot have what? You cannot have a fire without smoke. Smoke, sign, fire is coming up. Fire gonna give smoke. Always. You'll never see a fire put it up with no smoke. It's impossible. Everything have to have a cause and effect. Everything has to have a yin and a yang. Everything has to have a side effect. There's side effect in everything. You take some medicine, side effects. You eat some food, side effects. The world is yin and yang. Side effects are all part of life. Your existence is a side effect from your consciousness. You being a human being is a side effect from your consciousness. Your consciousness streams information to your brain and you popped out as a human being. That's a side effect. Reality is a side effect. Get that one? Now you see from a different perspective. So you want to create side effects. The real cause, the real reality is done already. 99% is already done. From you put it in your mind and you imagine it, it's done deal. You just have to repeat it and push it. You know, when you're doing a fire, you gotta, the more you blow the wind, give oxygen to the fire, it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. Same thing with reality. Keep imagining, it becomes bigger, and then it comes into what's called a critical mass. Thank you. Monica McDonald's coming in the chat with the super chat. Thank you. Did you get that one? Because it's easy for you to understand, so I'll make it again. When you do fire, you know, caveman, when they're doing fire, discovered oxygen. When they blow on it, you know, what fuels a fire? Oxygen. What fuels manifestation? Repetition. So it's like when you imagine stuff, you're blowing like, you're building it. And then what's going to happen is going to explode. That's called critical mass. When energy gets to condense to a point where it cannot take anymore, it's going to pop out into reality as your side effect. It's called critical mass. So you have to really get in tune with becoming a great imaginator and a feeler of what you are. And yes, we as kids, Sharif was right, we have been manipulated as kids by the Matrix. because the matrix kept us away from our imagination. As we got older, we were steered away from using imagination, and we were put more into using analytical thinking. We were more logical people. You know, there's two parts of the brain, the right and the left part. You got the creative part and you got the logical part. We were more moved to the logical part, and this was done by design. And you know, if you want to know the answer, if you came into the matrix already set up to imagine things and you're doing it as a kid, that's your natural default state, man. So someone turned off our default state. Someone put it on null. They tuned it down. They moved us away from it. And as we become adults, we started to lose our touch. It's still in us. We just have to rekindle it back up. And now you discovered, you know, awakening, and you're on your journey. Now you're rediscovering what you should be doing and what you ought to be doing. And this is something that you must do every day. Everybody here, this is guys, this is the only way you're going to manifest what you want. I'm sorry to tell you that. You're going to have to be delusionist, man. Delusionary. A little delusion. If you don't have any delusion in your imagination, you're not going to manifest what you want. I don't care what you say. It's impossible. It can't happen. It simply cannot happen because the part of the mind that manifests stuff lives in a delusionary world. What is a delusionary world, Mark? Okay, let me give you a delusionary world so your conscious mind can comprehend it. This is what I mean by delusionary world. Here it is. I'm going to show you where your mind lives. Your creative mind, your subconscious. Okay? Check this out. Go try to, I'm going to use the word try. I don't like to use it, but to make sure, just try to imagine what I'm going to put forth to you, and you're going to see, oh damn, this guy's totally right. That's delusion. But damn, it's delusion, but it's also true at the same time. Why is my mind fighting me? Because this guy just showed me something powerful. So here it is. Let me show you how it works. Go ahead, try to imagine. Whoa, that's cool. Green stuff. Now go ahead. Imagine one reality of your success. Okay, one version. Got that? Go ahead. Imagine another version of having whatever you want. Got that? Imagine another version. Okay, you got that. Now, go imagine your biggest accomplishments. You got that? All right, here's where you're not going to get this now. Now, imagine 10 more different versions. Can't get there, can you? Okay, imagine 20 more different versions. Can't get it. All right, let's forget about it. Go ahead, imagine one of your friends. Imagine 2 versions of your friend's success that you know for many years. Can you hear that? How about your mom? Go imagine 5 versions of your mom having success. She's healthy, she's success. Okay, imagine your uncle. 10 versions of that. Now put yourself back. Go 20 versions. Go 100 versions. You're not even there. You're not even there. Guess what? It's happening. You know where your mind cut off when you were at 5 versions. Your mind says, hold up. This is illogical. This makes no sense. But what you have to understand is, not only does it makes perfect sense, it's actually happening right now. In the delusionary mind. The subconscious mind is not only imagining, it's also experiencing and knowing where all those realities are and watching them as we speak. Your conscious mind knows this is true, but because it cannot prove it, it cannot be there, it says it's illogical. Now, you know illogical is really the truth. You want to hear something deeper? Your mind also knows the proof is out there, but your mind refuses to accept the proof because the proof doesn't match up with your mind's version of reality, your ego. Oh, the proof is there. Equations in physics now shows us that these dimensions exist. How do you think string theory came along? Theory of relativity. These are equations. Physicists won the Nobel Prize a couple years ago to show that reality is non-local. That's basically saying reality is figments of perception. They're here everywhere. There's no location of reality. There's no place that's fixed. It's all happening right now. Yes, your mind knows that. but your mind will always 100% refuse to make you follow it. Because if it follows it, it takes away certainty from your mind. Your mind cannot control you if it allows you to see that world. Now you ignore the mind. One thing about the ego likes to be the center of the party. If the ego feels threatened or feel like someone's going to take its job and you're not going to focus on it anymore, it's going to try to do everything to bring you back to limitation. Yes. Okay. Questions here. We got Sally. Sally, how do you destroy the ego? Sally, you cannot destroy the ego. The ego plays a crucial part in your life because the ego helps you to imagine, to visualize, and to create the delusion. So your ego is actually like a two-edged sword. It can help you and it can hurt you. The thing with the ego is you cannot destroy the ego, but what you can do, you can learn to block it out. You have to learn to ignore the ego, and when you ignore the ego gets quiet, and then you can be very productive and it won't bother you. The problem people have is they listen too much to their mind and they follow their mind because their mind gives them an emotion through the subconscious and they think it's true. It's not. Not everything you think or feel is true. Some of it is false events. It's glitches. You have to recognize that. The only thing that is true for you should be anything that moves you towards what you want. If it feels good, if it feels right, it is true because that's what you want. Anything that's moving away from whatever you want, it's not true because it's not what you want. It's what your mind wants. What your mind wants will always be limited. Remember that. What you want and what the mind want are two different things. The mind wants survival. You want thrive. You want abundance, right? Your mind does not want that. Your mind wants the bare necessities. Always. It's fixed that way. So you have to remember that, and it will take you a long way. All right? Now, here's the book. You can get these books. You should have these books. How to Win the Lottery Using Quantum Mechanics. We covered that. Tutorial. The Cheat Code to Mastering the Game of Life. Both of these available on Amazon paperback. Also, if you require to step it up, you can get into my one-on-one coaching program where I work with you one-on-one, help you create a map for your reality, help you to achieve your goals and dreams. A structured system, you apply it, you'll always become successful. I'll put the link down here below, and you can get in that when you are ready for that. So remember the key, guys, is what I want to leave you with is you cannot have what you want if you don't already have what you want. Now you know, so go out and make it happen. See you next time.